Hello all, myself Aishwarya Raikar. Today I am going to take the topic machine language and assembly language. Now what do we mean by machine language? First of all, machine language is the low level programming language, and in that language we only use zeros and ones, that is in the form of the binary, because the machine understands, that is our computer understands binary language, which is in the form of the zeros and ones. So suppose we want to create a picture on a screen of our computer, then it is basically very difficult to draw it using binary digits. Or for example, we can see that if we are supposed to write 120 in our computer system, the binary representation of 120 is this. So it is very difficult to learn. So in order to overcome this problem, the assembly language is invented. Now when it's come to assembly language, it is somewhere between low level and high level. And that's why it is called as what? Intermediary language. Now assembly language uses what? It uses numbers, symbols and abbreviations instead of zeros and ones. So simply it uses mnemonics. For example, for addition, subtraction and multiplication, it uses what? It uses the symbols like add, subtract and multiplication. In assembly language, these symbols and these abbreviations are called as mnemonics. Now here in this diagram we can see we need an assembler to convert the assembly language into machine language, because in assembly language we write the code which we understand, but the computer doesn't understand that language. That's why we need an assembler. So let's understand the role of assembler. So assembler, how we will define the assembler? Assembler can be defined as a program that translates an assembly language program into machine language program. Why there is a need? Because the user written program is converted into the machine language understandable default. So this is called what? Translation of high level language into a low level language, that is the machine language. And this type of translation is performed with the help of the system software. Now let's just quickly summarize the difference between machine language and assembly language. So when it comes to the definition, machine language is lowest level, assembly language is intermediate level. And understandability, machine language is understandable by computer, whereas assembly language is understandable by humans. Now in terms of execution, the machine language execution is fast, whereas assembly language execution is slow. The reason behind it is, in assembly language, first the assembly language code will get translated into the machine language and then it will be executed. That's why the execution speed of machine language is faster as compared to the assembly language. Dependency, machine language varies by platform, whereas assembly language just consists of standard set of instruction. Translator, machine language mein there is no need of any translator. Neither it requires a translator nor it requires any compiler or interpreter. In case of assembly language, assembler is used as a translator. Errors, in machine language, it doesn't allow for error corrections or any modification. In assembly language, we can do changes and error correction. And when it comes to the applications, what are the applications of machine language? CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays. And when it comes to assembly language, our microprocessor based real-time systems is the application. Thank you.